Hi, I'm Matteo, and today I will be making a breakfast sweet that I love. It's called Ciambelline Biscottate, which is vanilla breakfast cookies. It's a very simple recipe for which I use some Italian ingredients, but you can use some American ingredients that will work anyway. We'll start with flour. I have about 350 grams of flour, which is like 3¼ cups. The recipe is on my website, marariter.com, so you will get all the precise ingredients and preparation instructions there. Then I'm going to add some sugar. It's about 3/4 cup of sugar, 150 grams. To that we're going to add a pinch of salt, just a little. And what I use is Italian baking powder. This is Lievito Pane Angeli. Pane Angeli is a company that has been making baking powder, vanilla, and other things like vanilla sugar from forever. And I grew up with these things. My mother made her cakes by using these wonderful ingredients. Now, what is the difference between Italian baking powder and American baking powder? The vanilla. Italian baking powder has vanilla added to it, powdered vanilla added to it, so it gives it a nice flavor. Now, I'm just going to use the entire envelope, just sprinkle it in. It's better if you squeeze it a little bit, just so in case it has some grumi, which would be some lumps. Okay, so we put this in like that. Now, what I like to use is Italian vanilla powder. Here it is, it's a little envelope. It's got just a little tiny bit of vanilla powder. And you just throw the entire envelope in there like this. Okay, now if you don't have that, you can use American vanilla. Use like about a teaspoon of American vanilla. And as far as the baking powder is concerned, use about 3 teaspoons of American baking powder. Now, they're going to work. However, the taste will not be exactly the same because we're using different ingredients. Now, Italian vanilla powder tastes very differently than American vanilla. Not better, not worse, just different. But it gives Italian desserts their particular taste. Okay, now that I mix all the dry ingredients, I'm going to add the butter. I have some unsalted butter here, about 100 grams, which is about 7 tablespoons. You can easily use a stick of butter. It will work a little more, a little less. Not a big thing. I cut it up in little pieces so it makes it easy to get absorbed by the flour. Now, you can use all different things to do this. You can use a pastry cutter, whatever. What I like to use is my hands. Always your best tool. Mix it all up with your hands, break it up, break up the butter. Now there's no point in making this in a food processor or in a mixer, absolutely unnecessary, because it's such a simple recipe that you can make very quickly. And you know what? I like to work with my hands when I make dough. I really like to feel the softness, the suppleness of the dough. It's really a very, very good feeling. Now I'm going to break all of this up like you're making, American pastry dough, just into small little bits so that it's blended nicely throughout the flour and the sugar and the other things. And then we're going to add an egg. Now I have 1 egg here, to which I've also added an egg white. We're going to use the egg yolks and the extra egg white to later on in the recipe. Okay, for now we're just going to mix it all in. This is a very simple recipe. These are breakfast cookies. Italians are not big on large filling breakfasts, or actually not at all. Italians prefer a little sweet for breakfast with some cappuccino, or in my case just plain espresso. And just trying to get you started, just kick off your day with something sweet and nice. And these are absolutely perfect for that because you can dip them in your cappuccino, your cafe latte, or just eat them like that. They're crunchy and they have a wonderful vanilla flavor. Okay, so we mixed in the egg. Now, I always have a little bit of milk ready when I bake, when I make doughs, because sometimes the dough needs a little bit of extra help. Even though I don't even have this in a recipe, I just add it in because if you need the dough to be a little softer, so you can gather it together, you add a little bit of liquid. And the best liquid to add is milk, because if you add milk, it will give it a little bit more richness and flavor rather than just adding water, even though in a pinch that will work too. Now, we're making this beautiful, nice, very simple dough. And by the way, this recipe comes from the Paneangeli website, which is a website in Italian to which I go sometimes to get some recipes. And I find some of the recipes that my mother used to make many years ago, like torta Paneangeli, some pan di Spagna, and other lovely things, il marmor dolce. But I have translated and adapted this recipe to an American kitchen so that it can easily be done here. And it works like a charm. See how handy the milk turns out to be? We have to add a little more. I'm almost done. This is really very easy. In Italy, people would use the board. They would make the dough directly on the board. I prefer to do it in a bowl because it's easier to clean than the board. And, you know, in case something starts running out, like liquid or eggs, it can catch it very quickly. Okay, the dough is just about done. Now, the best thing to do is to refrigerate it for a little while so that you have, it's easier to cut up and roll out into the little shapes of the biscuit. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, going to rest it for a while, and we'll take it from there. Okay, here's the dough, nicely rested. See how soft and supple it is? Beautiful, it feels really good. I'm going to cut a little piece off. You can use your fingers, whatever. This is really very simple. And you're going to roll out little bits of dough, maybe less than that, to about the thickness of a finger. Okay, every finger is different. Again, approximately, to a length of about 10 centimeters, which is about 4 inches, okay? So just roll it up, a little more, a little less, it doesn't matter. If you make them a little longer, they will be bigger. I prefer them a little big, so here it is. This is one, this is done, so you place it on a baking sheet, which I have lined with parchment paper, so it makes it very easy to remove. And we keep rolling these. I'm not going to put them all up because, you know, it will take quite some time. So here we go. You can see how easily this can be done. Let's do another one. Roll it up like this, about the thickness of a finger, and here it is. Some are bigger, some are smaller, that's okay. They don't have to be really precise, it doesn't matter. Now what I'm going to do, I have here beaten an egg yolk and a little bit of water. So I'm going to brush this egg wash over the ciambelline. Okay, that's spilled, that's alright, we can clean it up. The ciambelline like this. So now this helps to make it golden brown and beautiful and attractive and crusty on the surface. So just a little bit all around it. And then what I do, I add this granella di zucchero. Granella di zucchero is really, it's sugar crystals or sugar pearls they're called here. Again, I got this in Italy from Paneangeli, so it's the same thing. But it's available in some kitchenware stores. And I just sprinkle a little bit over it because it gives a nice little glimmer and it's crunchy and it's wonderful, and children actually love the crunch of the granella. So just put it on top like this. And what you're going to do after you've done, of course, the whole cookie sheet, I actually make 2 trays. The recipe makes 2 beautiful trays of Ciambelline Biscottate. And I put it in the oven at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. But again, the instructions are on the recipe on my website, mararider.com, and you take it from there. So I'm going to continue this and then put them in the oven. Okay, the cookies are ready, the ciambelline are all done. They're still a little hot, so you just, arrange them nicely in a dish or put them in a box after they're cold, and you can have them for breakfast with a little espresso, the way I like it, or you can have a little cappuccino, caffè latte, or you can have it for tea. They make excellent tea cookies too. So here they are, the Ciambelline Biscottate. For the recipe, go to mararider.com. Bye.